Alright, check this out. Back in the 1920s, they had this crazy thing called a pramobile. Basically, it was a car for baby carriages. Parents could cruise around town with their little ones at 15 miles per hour. Imagine that. And here we have American actress Myrna Loy taking a paddle through a flooded street. This photo was taken around 1925. Here's a sweet one. This photo shows a little girl holding a penguin's flipper and they're walking together around the London Zoo. It was taken back in 1937. Check this out. It's the biggest mobile telescope in the world, and this photo was taken in California back in 1933. Here's a photo of Linda Carter, who was just 21 years old at the time. She was Miss World USA in 1972. Here's a photo of 9-year-old Eunice Winstead Johns with her husband, 24-year-old Charlie Johns. This picture was taken in Tennessee back in 1937. Alright, here's a photo of German trench armour from World War I. Pretty amazing stuff, right? Here's a cool shot. The Hindenburg airship, you know, that massive thing, floating right past the Empire State Building back in 1936. Here's a shot of some kids having a blast with the photographer, really capturing the pure innocence of childhood. This one was taken back in 1969. Here's the photo. It's Carolyn Jones as Morticia Adams, and she's wishing you a ghoulishly good weekend. This is the one picture from a box of ancient post-mortem photography. "30 Audi factory workers are showing off the power of the DKW F7 model." This picture shows a woman out in the Wild West. She's wearing a bonnet, you know, one of those classic hats. But what's really interesting is the mask she has on. It looks like she's trying to protect her skin from the sun, which in those days would have been super important. Staying cool during the New York City summer of 1943. Alright, here's a cool one. Check out Kenny Baker as R2-D2 on the set of Star Wars back in 1977. This photo captures an Apache ghost dance ceremony, taken around 1906. It's a powerful image. This photo shows a dad, probably back in the 1940s, showing off his skills to the surprise of his little daughter. They're in Melbourne, Australia. Alright, check this out. This photo shows the Santa Claus School and it's in Albion, New York. The picture was taken way back in 1961. Pretty cool, huh? This is a photo of the Ponca Indians, taken in 1865. Here's a delightful picture. It's a dog all dressed up, ready for tea time back in 1895. Here's a shot of Haruo Nakajima and Momoko Kochi on the set of Godzilla. This photo was taken back in 1954. Here's a picture of George Hackenschmidt, the man credited with inventing the bench press. East Harlem, 1975, the game continues on. Here's a scene from the streets of Paris. It's a cheering crowd celebrating the liberation. You see civilians waving at French tanks. This was Paris in 1944. Here's a photo of Queen Elizabeth II's wedding cake from 1947. This photo shows someone who suffered a complete loss of their nose, eyes and lips. It was due to something called Utrecht's crop, which happened between 1880 and 1910. Here's a photo showing the test flight of Pescara's helicopter, way back in 1922. Here's a photo of John Voight with his daughter, Angelina Jolie. It looks like it was taken back in 1978. Here's a shot called Shoemaker's Lunch, taken in 1944. It's by Bernard Cole. This photo shows scientists hard at work studying the different phases of the moon. This was during preparations for a manned American mission back in 1962. Here's a shot called A Look of Confidence. It was taken in Paris back in 1950. Here's a photo from the year 1944 showing American troops tending to a wounded dog. The scene is on the Orot Peninsula. It's a really touching image. Here's an early design for an electric hairdryer. This incredible photo shows archaeologists having a meal inside the tomb of Pharaoh Ramses XI. This was back in 1923. Can you imagine dining somewhere like that? Here's a tender moment captured in time. A couple in New York's Penn Station back in 1943. They're saying goodbye before he ships off to war, a scene that played out countless times during World War II. Here's a photo of Wilbur Wright, way back in 1909, circling the Statue of Liberty. He's in a Model A, and this was taken on the 29th of September. Here's a photo of a girl feeding her feathered friend. Here's a neat little hand scale. This one's a duplex model, and it's from the 1950s. Alright, here's a photo from 1926. It shows Mr. Barnard, who was part of the London Aero Club, making sure his dog co-pilots have their goggles on. Here we see Alexandre Gustave Eiffel on the left, taking in the newly finished tower with a friend. This photo was taken in 1889. Here's a cool shot. Check out this woman in Japan back in 1963. She's watching a Sony portable microtelevision in the backseat of a car. Pretty futuristic for the time. This photo shows an officer at the periscope in the control room of a submarine. The picture was taken in 1942. Here's a photo called The Aviator. Here's a photo of Albert Einstein, way back when he was just a kid. He's about 5 years old here, and the photo was taken in Munich in the year 1884. There's nothing quite like getting mail delivered right to your door. This photo takes us back to the 1900s, doesn't it? This incredible photo shows a pretty unusual sight. It's a baby cage hanging out of a window in New York City back in the 1930s. Imagine that! This photo shows the VJ Day Parade back in 1945. This photo is a powerful one. It shows Harold Whittles hearing sound for the very first time. It was taken in 1974. Here's how they tested football helmets way back in the early 1950s. Yikes, check out this creepy man. Here's a cool photo of Michael Jackson. It looks like it was taken sometime in the 1970s. He's just casually posing with a kitten. Adorable. Here's a shot of a man using an aerial camera. This photo was taken in Texas back in 1943. Here's a picture of Miss America getting her hair done back in 1926. You know the TIE fighters from Star Wars? Well, the inspiration for those came from somewhere pretty cool. This photo shows Vought F-4U Corsairs on the deck of the USS Bunker Hill way back in 1945. Here's Henri Matisse with his cat. You can see the cat curled up right between his legs as he's working from his bed. This photo was taken in 1949. This photo shows a heartwarming scene from World War II. These soldiers are opening Christmas care packages back in the 1940s. You can just imagine their excitement, getting a little piece of home during the holidays. Here's a photo of Leda and the Swan from the 1920s. Here's a photo of Charlie Chaplin and Mahatma Gandhi, taken way back in 1931. Alright, check this out. This photo shows a jetpack and it's from Virginia way back in 1969. Here's a portrait of an Inuit woman and child taken around 1912. Here's a photo from back in New York around 1900. It's the perfect day to hang laundry. Here's a shot from way back when showing an experimental gyrocopter test flight. This picture's from the 1930s or 40s, a real look into the past of aviation. Here's a photo of a radiology nurse, looking all suited up in protective gear back in 1918. Here's a cool old photo. This is a robot doctor, and it's checking someone's health. It measures their height, weight, and pulse. A pretty early look at automated medical evaluations, if you ask me. This photo was taken back in 1936. Here's a picture of Billy the Kid, taken in 1880. Here's a photo from 1957 of British actress Joan Collins. She's on a boat trip and she's being so careful and sweet with this super cute kitty. Here's a great shot of Ellie Mae and Ms. Hathaway getting ready for a dip in the cement pond. This photo was taken back in 1962. Alright, check out this amazing vintage Halloween costume. Here's the photo. It's of 17-year-old Bianca Passage from Hamburg, Germany. She's dancing on wine bottles dressed in a cat costume. This picture was taken back in 1958. Here's a fun one. Check out this old photo from the early 1900s. It shows a man and his goat mobile. Can you believe it? Here's a picture of Yoko Ono and John Lennon. It was taken at Butterfly Studios in New York City back in 1972. Here's a photo from way back in Chicago in the year 1909. It shows Santa Claus himself giving gifts to some sick children. A really heartwarming scene. Here's a lovely portrait of Billie Holiday and her dog, Mr. It was taken in New York City around 1947. This is a really striking image. It shows a man who's been badly tarred and feathered, seeking medical help. The date the photo was taken is unknown, but it really speaks volumes about the harshness of the times, doesn't it? Here's a cool photo of Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley. It was taken way back in 1951. In November of 1966, a really nasty situation unfolded. Stagnant air trapped a toxic smog over New York City for 3 days. Sadly, that smog caused the deaths of 168 people. St. Teresa, looking like a 14-year-old Albanian gypsy on the left. This was taken back in 1924. Check out this amazing image from the 1910s. It's a glimpse into the fashion of the time. Pretty cool, right? Here's a photo of H.L. Bowden, and this is him with the deep-sea diving suit he invented. This picture was taken sometime in the 1930s. Here's the image. It looks like a bowl haircut in Brittany, France, sometime in the 1940s. This photo is from around 1959. It shows German triplets, all dressed up in traditional outfits, and, well, they're picking their noses. Classic. Here's a photo of a freezing off freckles procedure. This photo appears to be from the 1930s. This iconic shot captures Marilyn Monroe in New York back in 1955, seductively applying Chanel No. 5. Pure Hollywood glamour. Here's a photo from the 1870s showing Dr. Louis Sayre treating scoliosis. He's carefully checking the curvature of the spine. Right, here's a look at how Cambridge students dressed back in the 1920s. This amazing photo captures Salvador Dali kissing Raquel Welch's hand. He's showing his admiration after finishing her portrait back in 1965. This is a beautiful photo of Mistinguett, the famous French entertainer, at the Folies Bergère in Paris. It was taken way back in 1900, right at the start of the century. Here's a picture of Charlie Chaplin holding a doll that looks just like him. This was taken around 1918.